Yeah, the first decision I ever made without my parents' consent when I was 7 years old was to join the Voortrekkers, which is the Afrikaans Boy Scouts. I saw myself swinging from branches like Tarzan. That was my first role model, and I continued that until I started at university and immediately joined Exploratio, the backpacking and rock climbing society, where I led wilderness trips 7 times a year, extreme wilderness trips, not hiking trails with huts and markers and stuff. So my whole life, I've just gravitated towards nature. That was my main focus. Basically, I call it extreme culture to me is art, and extreme nature is backpacking in a self-supported way. So I realized on these trips that it transforms people completely. You know, it is so extreme that you really confront yourself. You cannot lie, you cannot pretend, and you get to know human nature like a play, like in a theater piece, where the naked truth is revealed through through these events that happen in this extreme situation. Anyway, so I've always had this connection with nature. To me, it's two components. I choose areas which is a reflection of my inner landscape. Like I would go through phases where a desert will make sense, or mountains, or forests. Like when I started university, forest was my main fascination, and that's because metaphorically I was in the forest, and also mountains, extreme mountains. So and I always led trips which people haven't done before. I got quite a reputation for that in the 80s. Anyway, so when I came back from America and my film career ended because of politics, because I did not want to conform to fake political correctness, I restarted my career. I registered as a South African tour guide in 1990. I thought I would do that. That was after the army. I would do that for a living. Anyway, so I resumed that, and I took people on trips with my Land Rover. This was overland 4x4 trips, and then people would come on trips typically in astrological sense in their Saturn return when they're 28, 29 years old. I mean, I advertised, that was people from all over the world. I had clients coming with me in the wilderness of Africa. Again, we didn't go to lodges and tourist attractions. I took them into serious wilderness areas. So it was people at a crossroads in their lives. Always, doesn't matter from what culture they were, and they were really transformed on these trips. So for me, it's finding is nature as a psychological equivalent, a natural equivalent to the psychological processes inside. And then also in my art, my fine art, my film is my performing arts, cinema, fine art, photography. In my photography as an individual pursuit, I can only take abstract photographs of what's happening inside. I cannot pretend when I take those photos. I cannot wish or imagine or do something that reflect a state that I has been in the past. So I realize it's quite a powerful way of getting to know exactly who you are here now. You know, you can philosophize and reflect and tell yourself stories, or thoughts, but this kind of art really shows you what's happening inside. So that's my 2 dimensions of immersion in nature.
Wonderful.
Okay, yeah, so it's a landscape that makes no demands. Normally, I like to or like I said before, it's like an equivalent of the situation, the existential condition I'm in, so to speak. But this is I wanted for the first time to be in a place where nothing makes no demands, which is completely neutral. So I try to ask myself what's my interaction. I mean, the past few weeks or months, what's my interaction here? And there's no interaction, and that's exactly how I want it. It's completely neutral. Where you are always in the city, there's always demands on you, and here it's just neutral. there's apathy, which is what I think I prefer now.